All right, hey Sean, what's going on, man? Thanks for joining us. Appreciate it, man.
Hey, yeah, thanks for having me. Happy to do
So,
it.
so we gotta talk about the film that's basically all over Instagram now, all over X.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Let's talk about Cannibal Comedian, shall we?
let's do it.
Because for one, we gotta start this off. Where did you come up with the premise for this film? Because it's so good. Because
Well, there, Justin. Uh, I, I started doing stand-up comedy in LA, and I had quickly realized, even hearing like lines from Jerry Seinfeld, he would say like comedy is brutal, and and comedians are like creatures, and so they're just a different type of animal. And that's just started going through my brain. And then, I slaughtered the room tonight, comics would talk about, or I murdered tonight. And really, the Cannibal Comedian was born from there. And also being such a big Texas Chainsaw fan, that the cannibalism was always right there, and the family aspect as well came probably through that, and also being a big fan of like Ace Ventura and those early '90s great comedies from the Farrelly brothers and stuff too. So I kind of just mixed it all together, and then it came to fruition.
that is
Nice.
great. Now that you said Ace Ventura, now I kind of hear Charlie's voice and Ace
Yeah.
Ventura's voice. I'm like,
Together
okay,
now.
now it's
Yeah.
ruined. Like, Brandon, you got one right?
What's that? Oh, yeah. So, how was it to do your stand up? Like, when you were doing that, like, did you, like, how was it to do that?
Yeah. I was trying to figure it out because when you're new, you're just trying to figure out what the hell to do, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I would sometimes I would do like some characters, and there's actually one character in the movie that's kind of like one of the characters I did. He's like the German character, and
Oh,
he's
yeah.
trying to
Okay.
do this like German jokes and in this
Yeah.
accent, and then he's like, "Shut up!" And he's like, "Ooh, that's what and then they're like, "Why don't you fucking make us laugh or something?" And then he comes out of the character and says, "Shut up, Richard," or whatever.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that was kind of I was just really just trying to figure it out, and there was a few times I did really well, and I played the Comedy Store, and I got some gigs, and yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was just I think what happened too is I'm also a musician, and I was starting a band, and then trying to actually finish Big Top Evil, another horror film. So it was
Okay.
just like too much. But when I first went in, I like to say I went hard for like 6 weeks, but no, but really it was I went I really tried to do it for at least a year, like go to every open mic there was, and but that was I didn't know at the time, but that really was like the seed that was planted for Cannibal Comedian. Like I was
Yeah.
like literally going and doing, like when an actor goes and it trains to be a police officer or military, and he goes with the
Gotcha.
real
Yeah.
people. So I kind of was in there, with all the comics and sort of becoming a comic at the time. But I was pre-writing this movie.
Wow. Do you do you actually still do stand up comedy now?
No, I have not. I probably did it a couple years ago, and as you can see, a lot of the jokes are one-liners, and
Yeah.
that's all I had to offer because I've always had the sensibility of comedy and being goofy and doing characters and writing like a long, a story or with jokes in between, and doing that. I basically am not good enough. I don't understand it yet, so I knew that I could just write just like one-liners that were really silly, and
Okay.
I mean like stuff like random stuff that just come into my head, like this one joke. It's stupid, but like it's almost like a popsicle stick joke, and I go, why do vampires have sore throats? Because they're always in their coffin. Like these are like
That's a
the
good one.
stupid ass jokes, but all these like I would write them all the time. So if you want to hire me for like cartoons and or SpongeBob and stuff, I'm always writing popsicle stick jokes. So, but then the demented part of me is like, okay, let's turn them into cannibal puns, right?
Mhm.
She was pretty on the outside, but it's her insides that
Yeah,
really count, right?
that was a good one. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I would write those all out, and I still have, the one I was proud of was like, he thought he was real smart, but when I put him through the meat grinder, I could see he was well grounded. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
That's
so those,
great.
so, so yeah, I have fun with those.
That is hilarious. Just one-liners gets me
Yeah, the
every time.
one-liners were good.
Like if we could just get a second movie just with you doing one-liners, I'd be happy.
Yeah.
Because I think the one-liners made the film for me.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
just
that's
by
cool.
itself.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
so the one of the biggest questions I have when I turned this movie on and I heard the voice that did the scroll, is it who I think it is?
Oh, who did the title?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah, it's Alan Danziger, who is calls himself Chainsaw Jerry from the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Yep.
Okay,
yeah.
that's who I thought it was.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
definitely who I thought it was too.
Because as
That's
soon as
cool.
I saw that scroll, I was like, "Is this about to be Texas Chainsaw Massacre in here?"
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
that grabbed me from like the start, and I'm like, and I'm in my living room going, "Whose voice is that? I've heard that voice before." And then I was like, "I need to get this director on my show quickly as possible because this is eating me up inside." So you actually got the guy from Texas Chainsaw Massacre to do your scroll for you?
We did, and then on top of that, Ed Neal, the hitchhiker from the original Texas Chainsaw, did the voice of the skeleton at the end.
Oh, yeah,
Are
yeah,
you
yeah.
serious?
Yeah, that's Ed Neal.
I
Oh
thought
my
I knew
god.
noticed that voice.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I
So
totally missed that one. But the scroll got me.
yeah, yeah. So we got
Like
two
that
two
is
of
That's
the
awesome.
two of the guys from the original. That was really special.
oh my
And to have
god.
them on board, and they love the movie too, so they've been pushing it. It's really cool. It really amps up, and it's really cool for horror, like
Yeah.
deep diving horror fans, to have those
Hmm.
guys attached to the film, the alumni.
Oh yeah.
Hmm. Yeah.
That's I was like, I know that voice and I'm pacing around my living room going, whose voice is this? I almost Kevin Baconed from Stir of Echoes. Just started going through movies. Just start going through voices of people. Because I was ready for it.
See, I looked into it a little bit, and I never could find the answer that I was looking for. So I was just like, all right, eventually I'll find out if I was
Because
right or not.
I went through IMDb and IMDb's like, we ain't telling
Yeah,
you.
yeah. I went through that, and then I went through a couple other things, and I was like,
Right.
I'm tapping out because I'm not gonna sit here for 6 hours looking it up and then find it.
Yeah.
See, so you had us puzzled. Thank you very
Yeah,
much. Appreciate that.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I've seen a lot of buzz like around this film. Have you gotten any like negative feedback about this film? Because him and I
I haven't
can't
found
say
any.
anything bad about this movie at all.
No.
I appreciate it. Yeah. Yeah. It's been really positive, like truly positive. I mean, you can go whatever, a letterbox or something. There's a few bad reviews. People didn't get it or enjoy it.
Hmm.
Um, the big thing that I see too that I've been saying is like people do think that they're gonna go into like Tucker Dale versus Evil, but it definitely has a different vibe to it.
Yeah,
Like some of these movies that I love is like The Burbs and Joe Dante kind of films or Pee-wee's Big Adventure. So I tried to create this weird cannibal world, within that, and it's in some weird ways, it's like a dark dramedy, you know,
Yeah,
Basically, yeah.
yeah,
with
I
horror
get that.
like all like around it. So it's a little different going into it. I had one guy say like he wasn't liking it, and then after like a 30 or 40 minute mark, he's like, "Aha, I get it. I get what this is." You know, it's a little. So it's definitely something, that I feel is kind of got an originality to it. I mean, you talk about like Quentin Tarantino, he kind of grabs from all these different movies and then creates his own with that. And that's
Yeah,
kind of what I do with this, I feel like. But, there's never been a Cannibal Comedian movie, so that's
No.
special to me too. That like you could literally Google search Cannibal Comedian, or I did before the movie. Like I
and you'll
made the
find
movie.
it.
There is no cannibal, and it's so catchy and weird. And so I was like, oh, there's no killer comics. Like that's never been even thought of in anyone's fucking brain. Like I murdered
Not at
tonight,
all.
I killed, on and off, on and off stage. I say on the thing, but like I slaughtered the room. Like so I was like, okay, I'll grab it.
Like when
Because
I look it up now, like if I type in that, the first thing that pops up is the movie. Is the movie.
Yeah,
yep.
It's
yeah,
popping up. That's the first thing, and then like if you go into any kind of other research on it, that's it. You don't find nothing else but the movie.
yeah.
So
The only thing that comes pops up is a cannibal comedy, but that's like the genre or whatever. Like, but there was
mhm,
never an actual like stand-up comedian that's a killer.
that ever did
And
that, yeah,
yeah,
And we have said on many episodes, what do we want? We want original ideas for original movies because
yeah,
we don't really we don't really cover mainstream horror because mainstream horror is not good right now. So
yeah,
we
not
focus
so much.
about 98% of this podcast on independent films because
Yeah,
that's
we
awesome.
feel
Yeah,
we feel like independent films should have a lot more spotlight on them
yeah,
because it's basically it's Hollywood. It's it's
yeah.
quantity
Hollywood just
over
soaks
quality.
down everything now, and it just makes
Yeah,
things
it's
so
all
much
watered down.
worse.
it's
So
hard to
now,
say like what's independent. Like this is super independent, right? Like not a lot of money to try to make these
Mhm.
movies, but a lot of time and effort and dedication. That's the difference, and not just to put something out. But like movies like Talk to Me, did you see Talk to Me? I
oh,
would
don't
consider
get
that
us
still.
started on Talk to Me.
Yeah, he,
You
he
weren't
didn't
a
care.
fan of
He
it.
didn't care for that.
I hated that
I
I,
was
movie.
okay with it.
I like it, but to me, I guess that's sort of still independent. But that they got, they have a budget, and
Yeah,
uh, and I don't know if the studio was behind it at the time, but they had, production companies that were helping with it. So. Um, Yeah, no, I like that film though. I mean, that's one of the better horror films that I can think of that's new. I haven't seen like The Substance and some, but I did see Strange Darling. I thought that was pretty good. That's kind of horror kind of
Yeah,
thing to it as
I
well.
s- I saw
Um,
that the day before it came out. Strange Dawn was
yeah, yeah,
phenomenal.
yeah.
yeah.
We j-
That was
we
cool.
just we just ripped apart Hard Eyes a couple of weeks ago.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
that movie that
that
movie
was
just
bad.
wasn't it, man. That was like,
But you like Cannibal Comedian, really? Like over like a
yeah.
big budgeted Hard Eyes? I haven't seen it. I don't know.
I,
That's
so if you've
that's
seen
crazy to
Scream,
me.
If
if
you've
you've
seen
seen
Scream
Scream,
1, 2, and 3, you've seen
yeah,
this
Yeah.
film.
you've seen this film,
Okay. Yeah.
and that was the way it was. It just wasn't. I don't know. The trailer made it look better than what it was actually worth.
Right.
It's a trailer. You've seen the movie one, as we
Yeah,
call it. If you've
Yeah.
seen the 4.5 minute trailer, you've
you've
seen
seen the movie.
seen the movie.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things about this movie is just Charlie himself because he is a nice mix of Leatherface and Bruce Campbell to me. I don't know what everybody
Yeah,
else thinks he is.
yeah,
He
I can
could
see that.
easily be the new Bruce Campbell to me.
Oh, you would love to
Like
hear that.
like
Yeah.
like
I
he
I've
just
heard it a few times. I have actually heard the Bruce Campbell reference.
really
Yeah, yeah. So
he he
that would
just
be
had that.
awesome. Oh yeah,
Like
yeah.
he
Whatever
just
it is,
had
he has it.
everything.
I think so too.
Can we
And
cast him as the new Bruce Campbell by any chance?
Yeah.
Because I
yeah,
know Bruce
Bruce
Campbell
Campbell
doesn't want to
doesn't
do it
want
anymore.
he doesn't want to do any Bruce Campbell work. Bruce Campbell's done with Bruce Campbell stuff, so Aaron could do Bruce Campbell.
There we go. Where do I
He
sign?
can go on
Where do I sign?
podcasts as Bruce Campbell or whatever.
He could be on this podcast with Bruce Campbell if he wants.
Yeah, just take it. Just the,
Yeah,
you
there you
know,
go.
they'll have to sign stuff or whatnot, but like Bruce Campbell would be like, yeah, sure, you can just be me. It's fine.
Yeah.
Because I know Bruce Campbell doesn't want to do it anymore. We could just
No, he does
float him
not.
in, right?
No,
Yeah.
One of the questions I ask everybody that I have on the show, if you could remake any horror movie, what would it be?
Mm,
Ooh.
man, I just feel like we're going through my head. Oh, yeah, yeah.
This gets
You know
everybody
what's so
every
funny?
time.
I don't. Well, you know what? I don't think about remaking anyone's. Okay, I have one just because it would be just a lot of fun. But I usually will take different movies. Like my next movie is called Area 5150, and I like to go. It's like The Hills Have Eyes meets Alien with like some
Yeah.
Naked Gun slapstick humor. So that's how I like. I'll grab different things that it's like, but if Bill Moseley could get the rights back or the character rights of Chop Top, he's been wanting to make a Chop Top movie, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, that character, yeah. So like on its own, I would I would I would do that. I would direct a Chop Top movie. That would be
I would
amazing.
sign off on that.
Yes,
I would
Yeah,
sign
yeah.
off on
I,
that.
I would make that really crazy. Fun. Yeah.
that. Where do we send our money?
Yeah.
Just tell us where we send our
I would
money
sign up
at
with
this
that
point.
one because that was definitely like I've seen
That
the trailer for your Area 5150 or
Yeah.
yeah, and that looks
Yeah.
great. That looks like it's going to be a very good movie. I can't wait to see that one.
Me either. As soon as you
Yeah.
said Alien meets The Hills Have Eyes, you got me. Because The Hills Have Eyes has a place in my heart as one of the first horror movies that I've ever seen after I seen Texas Chainsaw, uh,
Yep.
Elm Street, and all the originals. I saw Hills Have Eyes, and you're gonna make an Alien with Have Eyes with slapstick comedy. Color me intrigued. I want it now.
Yep.
Like,
Yeah. Yeah. The movie's crazy. It's good.
does
It's
that have a release date yet?
No, we're in post production.
Okay.
We need some bigger teams here. Our team is very very small, so it's like it takes a while because like we're just putting out this movie, but it is in post production. And did you know also that Gunnar Hansen, who played Leatherface, was supposed to be in Hills Have Eyes, but he had like quit acting right after and didn't want to
Okay.
do it.
Yep.
Did not know that.
Yeah, but he was
Yeah.
gonna be. That would have been crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that would
because
have
he
been
Leatherface in Hills Have Eyes. Yeah,
that would have been great.
hmm
But
yeah.
he just made that one movie, right, and just dipped out, right?
He dipped out and then he came back for a real low budget horror because I think it was film students wanted to work with him and he came back for that and then he started doing some low budget horror stuff again.
Hmm. I I
interesting.
I may have to look into
Yeah.
that because I didn't think he did anything after that.
After that, no, I didn't either.
Well, I know what I'm doing the rest of the day.
Research.
There's like one called Chainsaw Hookers or something. I think he
Oh,
was in, I think
okay.
he was in that. Yeah, yeah. I think
Well,
There
it's
you
called
go.
that.
well, you color me intrigued with that title.
Yeah, that title.
Yeah.
Like, do you have any plans to do any other horror movies after Area 5150?
I have a script ready for another one. Uh, same deal. It's horror comedy.
Okay.
Sticking with that genre, and yeah, I like playing in those two worlds. Yeah, well, some point, I'll make. Like some of these suspense thrillers are really really good, so I really like that. I'm also a big fan of like prison movies or it just yeah, those suspense moving movies. Yeah, so it's like or suspense-driven movies. So that would be another angle that I may want to tackle in the future if I get to keep making movies.
Yeah.
Which that's basically what I want to be doing. So yeah, we hope for some great success with Cannibal to keep just climbing the ladder so I can keep making movies.
Yeah, because we like it.
Yeah. I liked it. Yeah.
Because we
Yeah,
don't
thanks, man.
like I don't think we have a lot of horror comedy out there, do we?
No,
I don't think so.
not that I know of.
I can think of a couple, but
That are
it's a
new.
few and far between.
Yeah.
Even older stuff, I don't think there's really a whole lot out there that's like funny per se.
Oh, that's
Evil
actually
Dead.
funny. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Evil Dead.
Yeah, Evil Dead. I can think of right off the top of my head, and
Yeah.
that's
Well,
basically
That's
it.
about it.
Shaun of the Dead was.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
I think I've seen only half of that film.
Yeah.
that was good.
It was.
Yeah.
But that's the vibe I'm talking about. I didn't do that with Cannibal Comedian, so it's not that. It's not Shaun of the Dead or Tucker Dale versus Evil. It's not. It doesn't have that energy, but it is still. It's like a different type of horror comedy, I guess.
Yeah. Your
Yeah.
movie stands alone.
Yeah,
It's
your
not
movie. Yeah.
it's not with anybody else's.
No. And I think that's why we loved it so much because
Yeah.
it's because it hasn't been done before, and we feel like movies nowadays need to be more original,
Yeah.
and
And
yours was more original than
this
anything we've
one
seen
was
recently.
original, and everything in it is original to me. There's
Yeah,
nothing that's different. Even the opening scene, you find the girl in the church. It's like I haven't really seen too many movies start out with a girl like half naked in a church, and then gets chased
yeah,
around afterwards. I mean, I don't recall a movie ever even having part of that. So it was like all the entire script, the way you wrote it out, is all original to us. So
Thanks.
yeah,
Yeah. Another thing that I would pride myself on was I would go out and shoot B-roll, like out in the desert just alone with the camera and shoot lizards and snakes and
mhm.
spiders and sunsets and sunrises and like a lot of that stuff is me just out there, or is it garbage in the desert blowing in the wind. So I didn't want to do any stock shots, right? I want it to all feel like it's within this world. And so I had a lot of fun doing that. I would just like drive out 3 hours out to the desert and just spend the day out there just shooting stuff with the
damn,
camera. And
Yeah, that's cool.
yeah, so this dedication, right?
Yeah, you
oh
gotta
yeah,
have.
To make
It's
it
like, man,
good.
if you want to continue making movies, you gotta have dedication to do it, and you
Yeah.
gotta have that. What's the what's your next goal? What's the next thing? And if you don't have that as a director, then you can't make movies.
yeah,
And it seems that so many people can make like anyone can make a movie now.
yeah,
Just about, yeah.
Like yeah, it's just you can make a movie on your iPhone. But there is something about not putting out just like content every week, being like a what do you call it, a content creator. I don't know, but
Mhm.
they'll do stuff real quick, boom, 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 and it's really impressive. But there is something about like taking a long ass time putting together a full length feature film and making it like
Mhm.
polished as much as you can is really special because I think that lives on longer, especially if it's good and like I literally have it, it's on Blu-ray. Um, 6 hours of special features with a 90-minute documentary of the making of the movie.
Yeah.
Available at screamteamreleasing.com. And then also they put it on VHS and it's numbered too.
Oh,
Limited
that's
supply
cool.
left. Yeah, and then red
that's
red tape.
dope.
So I mean, not a lot of people have VHS, but it's really cool. No, it's
I actually still have
the
one laying around here somewhere.
yeah, or VCR. I mean,
Yeah.
but But you know what? Oh, my producer, he's got like a whole setup with the TV with the VCR in the part of the TV has the VCR. And he'll play horror films while he's editing or doing stuff. So it's like that's a cool vibe.
That's awesome.
That is amazing. He's
That's
like,
cool.
I gotta get in the mindset. Let's put Pet Cemetery 2 on while I'm watching.
Just-
Yeah, exactly.
That's
That is
great.
awesome.
I may
Yeah.
have to go get a VHS player just so I can buy one of them and watch it on VHS.
And it's different too. It's all formatted for VHS, so it's not widescreen now. So like if it was a two shot
Wow.
of both characters, it's now the one of them, and then it goes to the other one, or pan
Oh,
scans
that's cool.
like
That
that.
is cool.
So
Amazing.
it's made for the formatted for a VCR or VHS. Yeah.
I I know exactly what I'm doing with my money this week.
And I think it's got like previews on it too for other movies with Scream Team releasing, which is fun.
Nice.
What?
Yeah.
Nice.
So you'll get previews and the whole thing before the movie plays. And now your featured presentation.
There you go. They'll take
Yes.
us back a little couple years. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
That brings me back to not rewinding for blockbuster films ever again.
You are not kind. You are not
I'm
kind.
not kind.
Not
I'm sorry.
kind at all.
Because back I hate saying this, back in the day I just didn't have time to put a VHS back in the player just to hit rewind. I was done watching it. It went back in the case and went back to the store. Like, cause
you already had it in there. Just hit the rewind button.
no, it was already out. Trust me.
Oh.
As soon as I was done watching, it was going back in the case. That's how I rolled.
I do remember when the VCRs got like the fast rewind, right?
Yes.
Yes,
Like so.
you hear
I'm
it.
like, oh yeah, that thing is kicking ass. Only takes like a minute instead of like 10 minutes or whatever.
But it's still, you still had that fear in your mind that VCR was going to break that tape because how fast it was going.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I thought that spool was going to come through that plastic casing every time.
Yeah,
Because
that
The
thing
little
was-
door, the little trap door, it just blows.
I
through
thought it was going to go that fast. It would go phew, and go right outside of it. But my friend had, I don't know if anybody else had this, but he got the standalone where you put the tape in and you hit it down, and then it would rewind it for you.
Oh, that's dope.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
I was like, dude, are you guys rich over here? He goes, no. I'm like, why? He goes, I've never seen one of these before. I'm like, is that all it does? He goes, yeah. They spent like $200 on a rewinder for a VHS tape.
That's crazy.
Now we don't even have to leave our house to watch films.
Yeah, which
If only I
is
could tell
that
myself
point.
that now.
sort of a problem now, you know. But what's great too, I was talking to somebody the other day. I'm not starting a bit. I'm just I felt like I was starting a joke. But there was okay, so the big movies people are still going out to, right? Like the Marvel movies and things like that. But not anything in the middle. So they're not doing well. But then you get like a Terrifier, and all those fans come back to the movies. So
Yeah.
it's like it's perfect for the independent filmmaker that's getting some heat underneath them, and those people will come out for their movie. So that's pretty cool, and that they have a chance, and that they did so well. Like it was doing better than Joker 2, Terrifier 3. So it's unreal, and so it gives it a chance to, if you have a really independent movie, that if it gets some heat underneath it, then it could possibly do well at the theaters.
Oh yeah, because
Yeah.
I just went. The most recent movie I saw was The Monkey with Osgood Perkins,
Yeah, I need to see that.
and that theater was absolutely packed.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, and horror in general. Yeah, I didn't say that, but like people will go out to horror,
Yeah,
especially this guy Heat. Yeah, a little bit.
And then we're going to see Mickey 17 this week, and I'm just going to be like, there's going to be like 5 people in the theater, It just feels like horror has more strong of a following than anything else nowadays. Because the last time, because we saw Terrifier 3 in theaters, and there was not an empty seat in the house.
No, they.
Yeah, it would be
I,
incredible if we could do Cannibal Comedians, and then that movie, we get a nice budget and gets bigger comics, and like I said, I think I said it before, we were on. I don't know if it was on this live or not, but and get some more horror icons and you know, like an Anthony Jeselnik or something like
yeah,
really cool, awesome big comics, and have them cameo in the movie and like another person I would love to work with is Harlan Williams, as just a character in the movie, and I think he would fit our weird world pretty well. And so, yeah, with that, and then making the movie, I like to look at it like when I watch like the old Star Wars, like the New Hope. That one's like
yeah,
kind of like mellow a little bit, and then
Yeah,
Empire Strikes Back is like boom, like kicks
right in
you
your
in the
face.
face. Yeah,
Yep.
and that's how I would do
I can
Cannibal
feel that.
Comedians. The second one would be, you know, really what you're looking like. You got the ground beef of like
Yeah,
the original idea, like Evil Dead, like Evil Dead
yeah,
2. Everyone loves Evil Dead 2. They talk about that one so much, but the the beginning was, obviously had to start with something. So that's how I would attack the second one. Oh man, I would make that movie so fucking fun. People would just be they don't even need to know about the first one. I mean, obviously we will go back to that, but they could just go Cannibal Comedians. And what's cool too, it wouldn't be two. So it's like, oh, I need, they would just go in being like fresh, just what is this? This is crazy.
yeah.
And then go back and go, oh, that's the original. Oh, okay, and
Gotta
they
watch it.
the first one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Cannibal Comedians, that just has it for me. Like, and
It
if it
just
started
sounds
out like the
bigger too.
first one,
Yeah,
it,
like
it's
aliens. You're just like,
yeah,
it
yeah,
sounds bigger.
you just add an S, and it's like, here's your sequel.
yep.
Yeah.
Like, and I saw on Screenbox last night because I watched your film again last night that it was #1 on Screenbox.
Number
Congratulations to
two.
you. Oh, it
Two,
was number
Two.
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 Yeah, yeah,
I
Yeah,
yeah,
thought it was
yeah.
#1.
Terrifier 3 is still number one.
Yep.
Ugh.
Well,
Can we get this to
three.
#1?
No, I'm just kidding.
Can we get this to number
Yeah.
one instead?
We can try.
Watch it again.
Hopefully, when people have,
Tell your friends.
hopefully, with this episode coming out, maybe we can get it to #1. Let's get it to
Number
#1, shall we?
Yeah,
Because I think it should be #1.
I think so too.
Because I could have swore it was #1, but maybe I was just tired.
Nah,
You're a
I
little
looked this
loopy.
morning. I looked this morning. It's still
Terrifier
number 2.
3 is still #1.
Yep.
I mean, I can't believe we actually got in that top 10 and then it just kept rising. It's even just from getting with this company and how they've been putting it out, it's been like so amazing. And they're so responsive and yeah, it's been an amazing first, week of experience of pushing out the movie.
And Screenbox is just knocking out of the park with all their films that
Oh
they
yeah.
got wrapped up on underneath that app. I saw like
Hmm.
Street Trash is in there.
Hmm.
I saw
Seen all
for
kinds
some
in there.
yeah, but for some reason they don't have Terrifier 1. They have
Oh, they
2
don't.
and 3.
Yeah,
No, they have 2
2,
and 3, and then
3.
you go on Peacock and it's #1 over there.
Oh wow. Yeah.
I'm
Weird.
like, what is this? So if somebody wants to start, they can start at 2? Like that.
Yeah, I think so. I think you
Yeah,
could.
I think so. Yeah,
I mean, it
one
hits
really
all the
was
way
good.
back to anthology and the shorts and stuff. So he's been doing that art character for like decades.
Yeah, All Hallows Eve when it was the other guy, I forget what his name was. And then he disappeared and it became David Hart Thornton.
Yeah,
Mm.
I still don't
Yeah.
understand where that guy went. but nobody ever asked him where that guy went.
nobody asked that question. Where did he go?
I'm just saying. Like
So what was it like to get it onto the streaming services
yeah, what is the process like?
for you?
Well, for I mean, we don't do anything from they take it and then they do. So I don't know what they're doing internally, how they
Okay.
how it
Oh, so
works.
you just submit it and it just pops up one day?
Oh, I see what you mean. No, we have to do all the deliverables and have everything from subtitles to the like there's the different versions that you have to send and then they put it through QC process, quality control, and then it goes through there, and there's that whole process, and then it goes to their internal, however they do run those platforms, and then it goes, and then they give you and then we got the release date was March 4th, so it was sometimes it's a little like maybe a little late to go on different platforms, but I think they all were pretty close. Like Apple, Amazon, Fandango, they all kind of hit at the same time, and then it also was put on Screenbox all on March 4th.
Damn.
Yeah,
So just
yeah,
it's,
and
it's just a
Roku,
waiting game.
yeah, yeah. From there, yeah,
Roku. People still use Roku?
yeah, yeah.
Unfortunately.
I think I'm talking to one specific person that uses Roku.
Yeah, I know. I still have a Roku TV.
We don't want to take up a lot of your time, but thank you for giving us this film. That's all I can really say because
That's
we
awesome.
Yeah.
we love original stuff,
Yeah.
and we can't thank you enough for giving us a movie that was original and it was fantastic. Like,
Yeah, it
Thanks.
was good. It was very
That means a
but
lot.
like, can we please get this to number one so we can get a sequel to this?
good. Yes, can we get a sequel?
Like,
It's
I don't
very
ask
good.
for much. Like, come on now. Everybody listening to this episode when it comes out, can we get this to number one? Because I threw
Somebody
out my
clipped.
$6.
Yeah. Somebody clipped this little part and then
I'll
put it
clip it
out.
for you.
Okay.
Yeah, he'll do the clipping.
But but Sean, thank you for taking the time out to talk to us today, man. I really do appreciate it.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. And shout out to the cast and crew and everyone that helped make this thing possible. And it really is like a family. Uh, and it's I've worked with a lot of these people for many years. And if you want to see my other films, Big Top Evil, it's on Tubi. That's easy to watch. And then I have a movie called Mangrove Slasher 2. There was not a first one. And so that's real throwback to 80s tropes and it's got a lot of kills, a lot of nudity. It's ridiculous. And so and I'm like five characters in it. We were talking earlier about me doing characters. I'm like five characters in that movie. And my whole family is in that movie. So it's almost like a home video of my family,
Oh,
but with
nice,
in
nice.
slasher form. So that's available on
That's
Amazon
awesome.
Prime. Yeah, so check those out and
Yeah,
thank
I
you guys.
definitely will.
I
Thank you.
know what I'm doing tonight, so be sure to go to Screenbox, watch Cannibal Comedian.